In case you missed it, the headlines read, Durk's father speaks out as Durk secures bond. On his third try, his legal team presented a deal so solid, the judge had no choice but to accept.
Just left the courtroom for the bond hearing for my son, for the lease for the third time. This time it was very fair. The judge was very fair. He wasn't co-prosecutor, he wasn't co-defense, but he was co-justice. So he listened to all the evidence, and he's going to be ruling in the next 2 days about what his position is for the bond. But we were very pleased at how it turned out. So continue, family, friends, and fans, continue to keep us in your prayers. Thank you, and inshallah, God willing, this be victorious for us, that we have a good ruling in our favor.
This led the judge to take 4 days before reaching a decision. Unfortunately, Durk's bond was denied ironically for being too wealthy. According to reports, the feds claimed Durk would have to go completely broke and surrender all his assets to qualify for bond, fearing he might use his wealth to put bounties on witnesses.
No bond for Lil Durk. Let me tell you about what options he has left and why the bond was denied this time. Now, he's in federal court on a murder for hire charge where he faces the possibility of life in prison. What that means is under the federal law, it is presumed that you do not get a bond because the charge and the penalty are so serious. So your lawyer has to go out there and show why you should get a bond. Now, ultimately, what the district judge decided to deny the bond on was a couple of factors. There's a couple $1 million being put up, but it's not all being put up by Durk. Some of it is from the label, and ultimately Durk has a lot more money and assets than what's being put up. So if I let him out on bond and he tries to flee, he's going to have tons of assets and money at his disposal.
The feds believe that if Durk is released, he might place bounties on those who crossed him, but many think he already has. Just last night, it was confirmed that Durk's day one homie, Guy, was killed in Chicago. This sparked a viral comment. Has anyone heard from Jam since he snitched on Durk? Multiple gang members have reportedly died, but what's even more telling is that Jam has been missing for months, ever since he was exposed as a snitch during an interview on DJ Vlog's show.
A guy named OTF Jam. Very ironic name.
Jam got
put everyone in jail.
Did 12 years.
12
got
years.
out, interviewed, said he kept it real, bought him cars, gave him 50,000.
Right.
This. Made mention that ain't no smut on his name. He ain't never been a rat. Caught a gun case, but eventually
Once the story broke, reports surfaced that Jam was found by F members hiding out in a house just outside Atlanta. Sources say he was punished for snitching on Durk, with a photo of the residence circulating online. Since then, Jam is vanished. It's likely because of the evidence he handed over to the feds. That evidence reportedly includes over 230 gigs of digital file, audio recordings, video surveillance, and 20,000 pages of documents now being processed for discovery. But what's most alarming is what that evidence reveals. The feds now suspect Durk may be tied to 2 additional murder for hire cases. The first involves Stefan Mack, who allegedly took out Durk's brother D. The second is Jam's baby mother, who was reportedly killed after Durk found out Jam had been wearing a wire. Authorities believe Durk may have paid to have both of them handled. Jam could be the key witness in linking him to all 3 incidents. One Instagram live clip even shows Jam whispering into his jacket, fueling speculation that he was wired up during his time around Durk.
I ain't gonna lie, man. Hey, when I was growing up, I didn't have a day architect. I would go, I'm having a day.
Months before his arrest, Durk had already sensed something was off with Jam. It's now being said that Durk had been playing 3D chess the whole time. He knew Jam was going to flip and cooperate with the feds.
From a mile away. I don't think people realize that. I could have a conversation with you for 5 seconds and know your.
Durk later addressed it, saying he no longer shares any information with his friends, knowing anyone could turn on him.
Nobody ever allowed to my house. It be our best friend never been in my house.
For real?
I promise.
Your best friend?
I promise. Like, it's people like I just don't allow around my girl and my kids, because it's like I'm just a different type. I'm not the have family night at Durk house tonight.
Say like, everybody at Durk's crib.
Yeah, we gotta everybody getting watched. Watch everybody. Hey, they go too close to them kids. What to do? Like, that's how I play. Like, I don't play.
Keep in mind, this is the same Jam who was gifted $50,000 by Durk just a couple of years ago.
Steady crying, huh? He steady crying. Feed him. Feed him. Look. They want me to trick him, bro.
See that?
Feed
My
him.
baby.
How about that?
That's really how y'all hold y'all babies. I gotta hold my money like this. This is too much. Crazy though. Sitting up there doing all this, sneak this and internet games and all this. Up some money, do something. Like we winning, bro. I can do it. Whatever it is I want to do, I can do it. Not what I want to do, what I want. Y'all can do that, bro.
Bro got out what?
You know that
Haven't you did all?
the year I did it now?
Yeah. It's your last beat. 12?
Sweet.
That boy popped out 12 years. So much money. We really didn't get in order to pick out lanes, man, boy.
The feds launched an investigation into everyone seen on the livestream after recognizing some of the same suspects involved in Lil Pab's murder guys who also used to go jewelry shopping with King Von.
Voluntary.
Let's
go over there. Boss, you good? My boy.
They got real in here, man. 'Cause he just kept his money.
To support their claim that Durk was behind a murder for hire on Stefan Mack, feds presented an Instagram story to the judge. The post captioned 4-day thing went up just 30 minutes after Stefan Mack was killed. They also pointed to an Instagram live from the following day where Durk is seen laughing, adding to the suspicion.
What? Check my phone. I just want to say slap car. What is it? Slap car.
A viral tweet claimed Durk was denied bond, but it added a deeper layer. If you think Durk was denied bond just for being rich, you clearly don't understand this case. Lolda's brother literally snitched on all of us, and instead of going public, they're keeping it quiet to catch Durk's legal team off guard. The concern grew when new evidence surfaced, including body cam footage of Tedda's brother pleading with police to let him snitch on Durk and F members. The clip has reportedly shifted the entire case. In response, Durk's lawyers filed for an extension on their bond proposal, leaving many wondering what exactly did Ted tell the feds. For context, Ted is also known as FD's brother, FD being one of Durk's top enforcers. Ted was picked up by police at a convenience store with a firearm tucked in his jeans, which ultimately led to the explosive revelations.
Dude had it. What about that? A man had it with an extended clip. That's cool though, right?
Ted was taken to the police station, and as soon as he arrived, tears streamed down his face as he told officers, "I swear, I'll tell you everything about the murders."
Come on. Hey, stop it. Stop it.
While sitting in a holding cell waiting to be booked, Ted was seen breaking down in tears, desperate to tell the feds everything he knew, willing to snitch just to get out. What's interesting is that the court paperwork listed Ted's last name, which is the same as his brother, DS, leading many to believe D was the one snitched. In reality, it was Ted. The confusion sparked even more drama, with King Von's cousin Vanya getting falsely accused of snitching. Things got so heated that Durk's right-hand man Bezu had to step in to calm everyone down.
Know what's going on with the people that's in the courtroom, man. For real, for real. There'll be false accusations. Y'all don't even know what's going on, for real. Y'all really be trying to play Spectre Gadget and all this. Y'all just be weird. That's what I'm talking about, man. Like, first y'all into the jam bombers out there. Now y'all come on Monday up here, man. Snitch on what? Y'all don't even really know what's going on, for real. How much years y'all really just be running? That's why I don't participate in nothing that got to do with nothing illegal. You motherfuckers, y'all be trying to get them put under the jail.
Even DJ Academics weighed in on the situation, speaking about TF Vanya allegedly snitching on Durk, which only added to the confusion and fueled the chaos even more.
When you see Flocko post something, you almost gotta be like,
Look at this headline. Lil Durk found out his co-defendant OTF Bonnie, King Von cousin, filed for protective custody when they came. Okay. That sounds so crazy. This is why we have streams like this. This is, I'm not gonna get on anybody or anything like that, and I'm not gonna ever say that I haven't, maybe jumped maybe once in a while, but I definitely do aim to be correct, and I never try to be incorrect out of malice, right? This is why we love to bring up the paperwork and try to explain it, and also increase everyone's knowledge on stuff, because a lot of times these days the headline is way better than the story.
Despite all this, Durk still has one final shot at getting out of jail because the prosecutors are now starting to dismantle their own evidence.
The allegation they backed away from, which is huge. It shows the weakening of the case. Previously, the prosecution had alleged that Durk paid the bounty through one of his co-defendants, and they named the co-defendant. Now they've backed off that allegation. They're not actually saying that Durk paid the bounty through the co-defendant or anyone else. And the fact that they're not saying that suggests that previously they thought they were going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy, and now they know we're not going to be able to prove that he paid the bounty through this guy.
Now that prosecutors are no longer allowed to use Durk's lyrics against him, his lawyer, Drew, is calling the charges a joke, giving Durk a real shot at freedom.
The case is as follows. So there was an indictment. It did not name him, right? It named others, and then there was an unindicted person. And then 3 weeks later, that indictment was what's called the first superseding indictment, and it does name him. The indictment was identical, except the unnamed person now became Durk Banks. And this is the really important part after. The second indictment, what's called the first superseding indictment, only had one new fact. It had one new fact, and that was it alleged that there was a video by Durk that celebrated and monetized this.
But according to Drew, they're in it for the long haul. Durk's team has no intention of taking a plea deal.
A likelihood of a plea. I think a lot of people have seen this seems like it's a do or die. This is kind of like it's going to be like a 1 or 0 type of situation. You're either are or you're not. Is Durk, from your understanding, or you as a lawyer right now, as his criminal attorney, are you open to possible conversations about plea deals? Are you thinking, no, we're going all the way? Would you entertain it? Just entertain it? Because that's your job to listen to maybe present to Durk, or that's just off the table?
It's a conspiracy case. It's an all or nothing case. He would not participate in a conspiracy. So there is no alternative. A life sentence, potential life sentence. So this case is going to 12 people.
They're going all the way for a specific reason. Durk's lawyers are holding on to a First Amendment defense to use later in the case.
First Amendment, right? That this violates the First Amendment. Can you talk about that?
Right, for sure. I mean, I'm expressing myself. I can say the things that I want to say in a rap record or any kind of record. And you can go back and there's country records, and there are pop records, and there are R&B records that talk about all kinds of things. It's just that there's this notion that with hip hop, quote, glorifying that suddenly now we're going to use these things to prosecute them. But does that mean that the free speech, the First Amendment, has gone away? No, absolutely not. He can absolutely rap about what he wants to rap about, and that doesn't mean just because the story is...
Things are looking so good for Durk that some lawyers online are even predicting he'll be released from jail, just like Young Thug.